Hi, and welcome to CryptoBiography. I'm your host, Brandon Starr. This is episode 272 of CryptoBiography, and it's part 8 of The Smallest Magician. We are back to talking about Emby's story. So, here we go. Just as a little quick reminder, since it's been a couple weeks, so Emby was being taught to find magical energy, and she was supposed to go find 2 objects in the living room that glowed, and the first one she found is the mirror, and she had just discovered that when we stopped last time. And here we go. She found the glow lovely, not too bright, and slightly moving like a pond on a nearly calm day. It did not change in intensity or in color. What all this meant she did not know. Though she was drawn to the mirror, she pulled herself away. She had another object to discover. The knack for changing her mindset to see magic was coming more quickly now. She soon spotted it. It was Donegal's pipe, which he kept in the living room for when he occasionally decided to smoke. Though she found it quickly, its glow was really quite faint. She almost missed it. There was a slight yellow-orange glow coming from it that wasn't that different from the color of the wood. It took her a couple of confirmations, moving around the pipe to make sure it was really there. Finally, she picked it up, shading the pipe from the light with her hand, and was satisfied. She put the pipe in the pocket of her simple dress. The midday meal would be brought to Master Donegal soon, and she wanted to do it as an excuse to let him know the progress she had made. She brought him the food, and he noted his pipe on the tray. "You found both objects?" It wasn't really a question. "Yes, master," she replied, "the mirror and your pipe." "Well done," he replied. "The pipe was a test. I lit it several days ago magically, and the remnants of the magic would be nearly gone now. The mirror, as you might have guessed, is magicked." She had wondered about that. "What does it do?" "Helps protect me. When there's movement anywhere in front of the mirror, I can tell. I can then look through the mirror to see who's there. I did not want to disturb you by using the mirror, however, so I did not look through it when you were in the room." Emby wondered what, if anything, she would have seen in the mirror if he had looked through it. She thought about the mirror. If she understood how it worked, then not only would the mirror show the formal living room, but the entry hall as well, or at least some of it. He had her come back in a couple of hours. "First spell," he said. She could hardly think. She wandered aimlessly, getting next to nothing done, and the 2 hours felt like a whole day. "Ready?" he asked when she entered his office. She nodded. "Sit across from me," he said. He brought out the candle, the same one from before. "This candle still retains some of the magic from the last time I lit it," he said. "You can see it, but now I will teach you how to use it. Later you will learn how and where to get the magical energy when none is already is present. For now, you'll learn to alter the magic here." He took up the candle. In a moment the wick glowed, then popped a light. "You'll see the energy, then feel it. Feel how you want the energy to change, to become heat. Focus on the wick. If you do it properly, you'll first feel the wick warming, then it will glow, and then light." He put the candle in a small holder and pushed it towards her. "Should I hold the candle?" "It's not necessary, but if you think it would help, then feel free. Don't touch the wick, though." She kept the candle on the desk, but reached out a clawed hand and lightly held it. First, she needed to see the magic. It was down to reflex, nearly. In a moment, the candle glowed. It glowed particularly strongly now, having just been magically lit. She saw the magical energy, and now she needed to feel it. She reached out with her mind, almost as though she was holding a hand out. She cupped the energy with a mental hand, and she could almost swear she did feel it, a warm presence. She focused in, and in her mind told the energy to gather together at the wick, become hot. For some time nothing seemed to be happening. She persevered. Finally, the wick smoked slightly. Without realizing, she had picked up the candle and held it close to her face, so close her eyes could hardly focus. This took her out of her spell for a moment, but then she put the candle back on the desk in front of her. She also moved her head very close to the candle and was focusing with all her attention. The wick smoked again, then a corner of it turned orange. She didn't allow this to distract her, but kept going. The orange corner of the wick spread. When it had reached almost all the way across the wick, the candle lit. Emby straightened. She looked at Master Donegal. "Well done," he said. "Like the magic sight, you'll be able to do it more quickly as you practice. And I want you to practice. Keep going until you can light the candle in the space of 10 heartbeats or less. And here's where I must add a warning. Once you start changing the magic, using it, you could find you're all able to do it in other ways. But for now, please do not try. There are some spells that magic can make extremely dangerous. You could stumble upon a spell that could kill you. Someday, when you really know magic well, you can try to make your own spells, try to make new abilities, but not now." "Yes, Master," she replied. "Go practice in your room," he said. "Thank you," she replied, taking the candle with its holder and turning to the door. "And keep practicing your magic sight. Tell you what, I'll place an item somewhere in the house, outside of my rooms, that has magic upon it. You look for it. Go practice now, and I'll place it while you're in your room." "Okay," she replied, and left, excited by the possibilities of what she had done and what she would soon be able to do. And that's the end of the story for this week. Hope you're enjoying it. If you have any comments or questions about this episode or previous episodes, cryptobiography@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. And thanks for listening. Words and music, copyright 2022, CryptoBiography LLC, all rights reserved. Characters and events are fictional, fictionalized, or satirical.